Hello, hi everyone. This is Hitesh here. So today's topic will be our ChatGPT. We're gonna see what is meant by ChatGPT and how does it works, what are the ChatGPT things are there, and what are these use cases. So let's start with our first particular topic, which is called as what is meant by ChatGPT. Okay. Actually, ChatGPT can answer any type of questions. Okay, it can compose the essays, it can offer the advices, and much more. At its most basic level, ChatGPT is a simple form of generative AI, meaning that it can automatically produce written content. It's a form of conversational AI, so it's also capable of carrying on fluent and natural dialogue with the humans. Now let's come to the. It also allows the AI and other tools, and it allows us to AI to talk back with us. Now, a Jeff Kagan, who is a tech industry analyst, okay, told built-in it's got the power to do a sort of computer vision of thinking. As we know, this particular some interesting facts of ChatGPT that ChatGPT stands for the General Predefined Transformer. Okay, and it is a kind of a chatbot which uses the elements of an AI to communicate with the users in a natural, like human text way, as well as and generate the unique content and text. It can answer the compose essays, and offer advice and many things it can do. The ChatGPT has been created by Open API, which is launched in November 2022, and it was near a overnight success, reportedly reaching 100 million users in just a couple of months. Now, this has been launched by the November 30, 2022, and the second question that is that particular ChatGPT is free or not? Okay, for the selected users and for the you can say around as of 1 February, there is also a paid subscription version called as a ChatGPT Plus, which costs $20 a month, has been there, but it isn't free to use. We will see what are the strengths of the ChatGPTs are there. Okay, first of all, we already know that our particular ChatGPT is a brainchild child of an OpenAI, where several recognitions and various types of ripple experimentations have been done there. And there are many ways in which ChatGPT is groundbreaking. Unlike the most other chatbots, it can carry a conversational fluidly between the prompts and making the interaction with the users much more natural. So it's a capable of carrying a natural fluid conversation with users, meaning a user doesn't have to repeat themselves. ChatGPT doesn't require users to plug in examples of what they want before receiving an answer, and making it more user friendly than other chatbots. Okay, and the user can also plug in long complex text, and ChatGPT can understand that particular text. Most proceeding models were a kind of a single interaction interfaces where, so if you'll see, if you wanted to refer back to something you have said previously, you had to restate that thing, right? So that's kind of unnatural for the most human. Now, as Stone said, that the technical challenge you had was, I think, relatively easy in terms of persisting or flowing the past conversation back into the each new question answer in iterations. And is also much better at doing the zero shot learning. He continued that meaning users don't need to provide examples for model to understand that the kind of output they are looking for. So this makes the chat GPT much more user friendly than other chatbots. Now with chat GPT, you can just ask the question and the model will understand the format, the nature and the type of response you are looking for. And earlier, the models before the ChatGPT, you go back year or 2 years ago, they might be needed 4 or 5 examples to understand, oh, this is the answer you are looking for to get back, right? And the older models that they would have been needed hundreds or thousands of examples. But within the ChatGPT, you can just ask the question and model will understand the format, the nature and the type of response you are looking for. And one of the main important thing that how this particular ChatGPT works, right? Which is an important part. Now, this particular chat GPT, if you say, is powered by the large language model, okay, or LLM, you can say large language model or LLM. which comprises of a neural networks. These neural networks have the capability to predict the word sequences and generating the sentences similar to how the human would write or speak them. Now here large language model or LLM manages to do this after being trained on the large corpus cost of data. Okay, and this cost of data is written content on the internet that can include everything from the Wikipedia articles to research papers. In practice, LLM models gives the probability of a certain word or a sequence as being valid, meaning it resembles how the people write, or which is what the language model learns, and wrote the built-in expert contributor and data scientist by the more captain's accuracy. And the sequences also generated don't actually necessarily have to be language, but as it with the chat GPT, they can also be numerical sequences or time series sequences. It depends upon the what type of inputting we are feeding. Like and it's just happens to be that language is so unambiguous that it most useful type of sequence to predict only. Okay. And often deploying to the long short term memory model, which is also called as an LSTM. The LLM takes a sequence of words users gives as much as such a half completed sentence and fill in the blanks with the most statistically probable word given the surrounding context. This happens additively, building from words to sentences and paragraphs to pages of text and all that. Right. Now its reading ability is just like that. Like it's a brainchild of an OpenAI, an artificial intelligence research lab, which is co-founded by the billionaire of business mogul Elon Musk and former Y Combinator president. Now, at a time when OpenAI was a non-profit focused on developing the artificial intelligence in a way that it is more likely to benefit the humanity as a whole, it is get unconstrained by a need to regenerate the financial returns. And according to OpenAI, it still operates on a non-profit arm. It officially became a capped profit of corporation in 2019 when it is currently valued at $29 billion percent, reporting by the Wall Street Journal, which is the latest news we have been found in the internet in the United States right now. Now, coming to the ChatGPT, other things like what are its you can say reading abilities and all the things. Of course, one of the most talked about strength of ChatGPT is writing ability, right? And it's important to note that the bot is also incredibly good at reading or at very least understanding the text being fed to by the users. So this is not only the perspective impressive, but it's also useful to companies looking to use this technology. A lot of time, the outputs these organizations are looking for relatively simple. They want to classify something which make or take a specific action or don't get explained. Now, the real complicated part is to understanding the real world history data, right, of any customer, any employee, and that's where I think it's a power as a reader, because we can give a multiple documents, maybe even in really long documents, it will be instantly be able to read all of these reasons about them. But then the tie and back to the action, which express the action we want to take in the form of writing, can be done by the chat GPTs. But with the comes coming after the disadvantages, we have certain limitations also in chat GPT. Like you can say the chat GPT isn't a perfect one, it still has quite a few limitations. And for one, the data on which its base model was trained as a quite limited. So ChatGPT uses the data from the internet to help the generate its responses, but it does not have the ability to search the internet for the new information. Right? This is the limitation we can say, and it does not update in real time because the base model was trained on the data from 2021 and earlier, meaning it does not having the awareness of events or news that have been occurred since then, right? And ChatGPT, particularly when it is being used for the business reasons, it relates to information which is specific to that organization. More recently, if you see, then 2021 often doesn't exist on the open internet. So how do we plug into this particular type of data so that we can use it actually assist customers on the issues that are just a few hours or even minutes old? That's a pretty uncharted territory, you can say, right? So this is kind of a limitations we have been getting in the chat GPTs. Now the ChatGPT use cases we're going to see. There are around many use cases, but the most of use cases has been found in the content creation. Then we have a customer service, then healthcare and the programming sectors. So ChatGPT in content creation is one of the many AI content generators, tackling the art of a written word, like whether the news can be an article or press release or social media post or sales emails, everything. All users has to do is a hop on ChatGPT or some other platform and type in a quick prompt. If they want to create a blog, post about the health benefits of sweet potatoes, they just need to type in the right an article about the benefits of sweet potatoes, right? So definitely the model will generate the draft that the user can edit and refine as needed. So this is kind of in content creation. Coming to the customer service, like ChatGPT and other conversational I have been models have been generated lots of buzz in the customer services space because it's offering a way to automate the responses in order to customer queries as opposed to relying on the human agent. And many companies are trying to automate the customer service interactions and allowing the companies to better understand the user intent and respond accordingly. Okay. And the use of AI in the customer service not only saves the money but also addresses the ongoing labor shortage in this industry, which has a worsened in the wake of COVID-19 effect. Like coming to the healthcare sector, this particular when you look this particular healthcare sector, okay, there's also some kind of, and you can say, a major back change has been happening because now the healthcare sector is just started to using the chat gpt for the, you can say, diagnosis purposes, and for their you can say doctors are plugging to patients the symptoms into ChatGPT to get the differential diagnosis, the list of possible conditions related to presenting symptoms. Then hardware and Castro, an emergency physician, who just advises the digital health companies on how the best to integrate the ChatGPT, and told that CBS and news how it can be supplemented with the patient care and how we can enhance them with the AI could improve them. Then it also for the clinical or decision support system. For this all the particular things we are using the ChatGPT in healthcare sector. Now coming to the programming, what happens? ChatGPT has completely changed the game. Not only can it generate a working computer code of its own, but also can translate the code from one language to another and debug the existing code. Now, in order to see the perfectly demo of that, how the particular ChatGPT is working, okay, I'll let you know. See, now you can go to any browser you want. Just open there. Call it a chat open.ai.com chat. Okay, slash chat option. Now after opening this particular, you can see this is the interface of a chat GPT. Now depending upon the internet connection, it will going to give the things. Now I'll say that write a Python program to create a, you can say, hangman game, okay, or chess game. Okay, we're going to fetch this particular input that you want to write a Python program to create a chess game. Okay, now the AI, see, this is the one of the limitations which I am giving to you, that as an AI language model, I'm not capable of creating the full functional chess game, but I can provide you with a high level overview of how you can implement the basic version of the chess game doing the Python. Can you see? It haven't, you can say, have that much capability to fully function in a chess game. This is kind of one of the limitations which is lacking in the particular this chatbot. Okay, but it can give the overview steps how you can build a particular chessboard. So you can see the logic has been getting written by the ChatGPT here only. Now, if I'll say that what are the job descriptions of data science, right? You can put it, what are the job descriptions of data scientists. Okay, now when the moment I'll write what are the job description data scientists, now it's fetching the information from the internet. Now it has started to giving me the job descriptions of the data scientists. You can see the job of data scientists can, depending on the industry and company they work for, but there are also common responsibilities like collecting and analyzing large amounts of data, right? See, all the job descriptions are getting written by this particular chat GPT. It's fetching the information from the internet server and just giving here. Can you see? Everything is getting written here, right? So in this way, you can use the chat GPT with the various modes, okay, with the various particular things. Now, just now we have talked about, is it this particular chat GPT is free or not? You can say here it is written called as upgrade to plus, right? You can upgrade to plus chat GPT, and then you can able to use the advanced features of chat GPT very easily. Okay. Now, what lies behind the ahead for this chat GPT? Because now what happened, Microsoft supporting for the OpenAI. Okay, right, we already aware about it, and the first release of the Microsoft uses the chat GPT 3.5, which is the technology behind the chat GPT, is to automate the general snippets of code in a Visual Studio product. But now recently, just OpenAI has just launched the newest language model in the web browser Edge, and we also got as a one particular term called as a ChatGPT 4. Okay, although just few months only ago, this OpenAI released the ChatGPT 4, and a much anticipated language model, which is be underlying the engine, the powering of the ChatGPT going forward. Because this particular new model, what happens? It is a kind of a multi-model, means that it can accept the both images and text as an input, and although it can only generate the text as an output only. For now, the company is only selling access to its text input capabilities so the businesses and individual can build their own application on the top of it. Right now, you can say what are the or what is Sycamore. Can you see? Now, this particular chat GPT will going to generate the results and it will going to give me the different means definitions of what is meant by Sycamore. Okay, or from where the Sycamore has been created. Right. Let me tell you guys, the Sycamore is a quantum computing in computer, which is given founded by the Google. That is one of the just only particular computer. And it depends upon the internet speed also. What type of internet speed you are working for this inside the chat GPT. Okay. So for today, we're going to just complete our session here only, and tomorrow again we're going to complete the new topics. Okay. So bye bye everyone. Take care. And if you wanted to learn more in deep what is all about the chat GPT and how to use it perfectly in your Python code, then you can enroll to a Coachx. Definitely they're going to guide you at the best. Okay. So bye bye everyone.